Welcome to Haunt Weekly.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this is Haunt Weekly, a weekly podcast beyond a distraction entertainment community. Whether you're an actor, owner, or just plain aficionado, we aim to be a podcast for you. And we return to you once again in our Hackney studio space, hoping that return to live recording soon. We couldn't pull it off this week. We've had a lot going on. But anyways, hope that you all are doing well. Hope that you are enjoying your weekend and getting ready for the beginning of haunt season for a lot of people. Haunts are opening up.
Yeah.
So yes. So take a moment though, if you have not done so already. Check us out at hauntweekly.com. We're Haunt Weekly on Twitter, Haunt Weekly on Facebook. YouTube.com/hauntweekly is our YouTube channel. Every episode is there. You don't have to go and trolling through the archives on the site. They're just there. It's great. And, under normal circumstances, Facebook.com/HauntWeekly every Sunday at 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern. We usually record these live, and we're hoping to return to it next week. And if we're able to, provided the temperatures remain sane.
Right, yeah.
That's been the big problem.
They've started dropping again, so maybe we'll be able to get back there soon.
Well, yeah, I mean, first we had a heat wave, then we had a hurricane. And now the temperatures, today we probably could have done it from a temperature standpoint, but yeah, we're not ready for that yet.
Yeah.
We'll leave it there. We're not ready. Moving forward. But anyways, I'm actually really excited about this week's topic. This is an interesting one because we'll get into it in more detail in just a little bit. But we're going to be revisiting our haunt wish list.
Yeah.
Our bucket list of haunts we want to go. And we're going to get into that in just a little bit. But first thing is first. The question of the week. We had last week's question got a lot of great responses.
It did.
It really did. I was actually very, very, very impressed with all the comments. The last week's question, since we were discussing ways in which being a haunter helped us deal with the aftermath of the hurricane, put the question out there to you all. What are ways in which being a haunter has helped you during challenging times? And we got a lot of great answers.
Pete Blackwell said the ability to plan an outcome or end result, then make it happen.
Yeah.
And also adaptation when it doesn't go as planned, which is something we actually mentioned on the podcast.
Yes.
Jared Howell chimed in with
networking.
Networking, yeah.
Which is something else we actually did talk about. It's how we had such a great rapport with the entirety of our neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Farrell, improvisation and patience. A lot of people are coming in on the improv part of it, which I think is apropos. I think that's very, very accurate. Ryan Greger, who I'm actually saying his name right this time, probably the first time in Haunt Weekly history.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Basically, the just roll with it attitude. I'm trying to get to the meat of it. Where you kind of take the punches as they come. And that's definitely something else.
Yes, although he has said that gaining that just roll with it attitude has hurt his perfection for his work. Which I understand completely. Because used to I would get so frustrated when something didn't look exactly like I wanted it to look. And now it's it's good enough.
Well, and perfect is the enemy of good.
Yes.
It's something not enough people realize. It's better to have done something imperfectly than to have done nothing because you were trying to make it perfect.
Right.
Part of something is worth more than all or nothing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But anyway, some great answers there. And this week's question of the week, once again, we are going to be discussing this over the entire episode.
Right.
But we're pointing the question back to you guys. What haunt have you not been to that you really, really want to go to?
Right.
What would be on your haunt bucket list, so to speak?
Yes.
Your must-see haunts. So, we'll do all that in just a little bit. We'll once again collate the responses and post and talk about them next week. Because
Yeah.
Crystal did an excellent job collating. All right. Going back, though, to one more housekeeping item. We said previously we would do conference reminders on the evens.
Yes.
And guess what? It's an even episode.
It is.
So, Crystal, do you want to kick off the conference reminders?
Sure. The first one coming up is Legendary Haunt Tour. It's going to be here in New Orleans, November 12th through the 13th. We're assuming it's still going to be here at least.
Mm-hmm.
And that they will be touring the Mortuary, New Orleans Nightmare, 13th Gate, and Rise Haunted Houses. Tickets are $365.
Well, early bird pricing ended.
Oh, well, I didn't know if that was the early bird pricing or...
I don't know either.
Or the regular
Tickets
pricing.
Okay, but anyways, yeah, tickets on sale.
Anyway, you can find out how much tickets are by going to...
Himself. Legendary Haunt Tour, 2 T's there,
Yes.
.com. So, yeah. And I'm just going to say it, all 4 of those haunts, excellent.
Yeah.
Absolutely would love the opportunity to go through them I live here, so obviously I've seen them.
Yeah.
They're not exactly bucket list haunts because we go every year.
Right. Yeah, and 13th Gate has started posting that they are opening, so on their regular schedule. So that's good.
And New Orleans Nightmare actually posted saying they postponed their opening, but they are still planning on having a season. So
yeah,
we know about those two. But yes, legendaryhaunttour.com. Up next is the Halloween and Party Expo, the show that was formerly co-hosted and co-located with HauntCon.
Mm-hmm.
But this year it looks like it's going to be just the Halloween and Party Expo. It'll be in Las Vegas, Nevada, January 11th through the 13th, 2022. Giant trade show, mostly intended for bulk buyers, but they usually do have you can see what's going to be the next big thing at Halloween. That's always kind of cool. You get a preview of that. But there are also oftentimes booths that do smaller sales. So if you see something you like, you may still be able to pick it up.
Yeah.
HauntCon, according to the website, is postponed for 2022. We do not have any news on it.
Next up, January 21 through the 23rd is Fear Expo Live in Owensboro, Kentucky at the Owensboro Convention Center. It features trade show, overnight haunt tour, and Friday after party. FearExpoLive.com.
Yep. Fear Expo Live. The .coms always look so weird when you try to say them out.
Well,
it trips you up.
Because it read as olive.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. It could be the Fear Expo Olive.
Yes.
I had not considered that one, but you're absolutely right. It could be the Fear Expo Olive.
It is not, though.
It is not. It's Fear Expo Live. But now I'm going to have that in my head when I have to do it next. Thanks a fucking bunch.
Sorry.
You just screwed me over with that.
Well. All
right, and the last one for right now, February 19th through the 20th in Pomona, California. It's Haunt X, DIY Haunters and Halloween Expo. This is one that's always sounded so cool to me. It's at the Fairplex, Pomona, California, featuring an asylum costume party on Saturday the 19th. HauntX.com for more information. So, yeah. Now, don't want to take too long of a divergence here on this next bullet point, though, but we briefly want to send our thoughts and our love to the team, to the people at Haunted Hills Hayride in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Their opening night was September 11th, and unfortunately, there was a shooting that took place.
Yeah.
One teenager is dead, another is in critical condition. And the alleged shooter is not, they have not arrested him or her yet. They've not arrested the person.
Right. They have a person of interest who is also 15 that they're trying to find.
Yeah.
But we'll report more on that on the news.
Yeah, we just want to send some love and some respect. I mean, it was their opening night.
Yeah.
That's rough.
It is.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Yeah. So, yeah, and it sounds like the incident took place near the ticket booth. And it was started as an argument among a large group of teenagers that escalated into gun violence. And it's just, last year, when haunt season last year was, of course, really weird.
It was.
And we reported, I think, on 6 or 7 different shootings.
They're more than any other previous year, because prior to last year, it was 0.
Yeah, we had 0. I even went back through all of our old news notes and couldn't find anything about a shooting at a haunt. And this year, we've already had one in mid-September.
Yeah, that is... I hope that is not forecasting for
yeah,
the season.
I hope so too, but, I'll have to see. But like I said, sending out love thoughts to everyone there. So, this brings us to our post of what we're talking about this week. And to start and move forward, we have to first go back.
Yes, way back.
Way the hell back. I mean, like, super far back. All the way to episode 71.
Mm-hmm.
We did an episode called Our Haunt Wishlist.
Yes. And the episode idea was pitched to us by Maximum Christian Bryant.
Yep.
So thank you, Maximus.
We basically just rattled off 10 haunts that we really wanted to go see sometime and talked about why we were curious about them, why we were interested in them.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a good episode. I actually really enjoyed that episode. But here's the thing. That was over 4 years ago now.
Yes. So we're going to update it.
Yeah. We've hit some... Some other things have changed with, and
right.
But yeah, we've got an updated list. We're going to first talk about the 3 we went to, and actually marked off.
Right. Go over the ones that were previously on the list and are still there.
Yeah.
And then we've added a few new ones.
Yeah. So that's the whole idea. We're going to cover a whole lot of haunted houses in the course of this next 40 minutes or so. So yeah, we got a lot to get through on this. So yeah. Now, to keep everyone in mind, we are based in New Orleans.
Yes.
So geography is a pretty big limiter.
It is. However, we now, whenever travel is available to us, when we can travel freely, we now try to take one long weekend trip from New Orleans. That has opened up some possibilities for us that weren't previously when we did the original list.
Yeah, we tried to do one far afield trip.
Yeah.
And I know since we recorded that episode, we did the Atlanta trip.
Yeah.
We did Houston, Chicago, and the Houston area. Mm-hmm. We've done a lot of these trips, and honestly, it's really amazing.
Yeah, it's basically one of the highlights of the season for me.
Yeah, and we know where we want to go for the next one.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it's going to happen this year just because of all the travel issues.
Yeah.
But we know we're heading for the next one.
Yeah, because my job is still not allowing for travel without 2-week quarantine when you get back. And I'm in a new position, so I can't do that.
Yeah. So we're not going to be doing any out-of-state travel probably this season at all. Honestly, I don't know if we're going to haunted houses this year.
Yeah.
Because I hated not going last year.
Right.
But I did not feel safe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, I think it was the right decision for us. Mm-hmm. Especially since, we know a lot of people that, if we get COVID-19, we'll probably be fine.
Yeah.
Everyone in this house, but we have a lot of contact with people that won't.
Right.
And so we're not taking the risk for ourselves. We'd be taking that risk for others that don't get to see a fun haunted house.
Yeah, even though we are vaccinated, there's still a risk there.
There's still a risk, and we're still playing it cautiously. So we don't know. We don't know what this haunt season is going to look like in terms of visiting haunts. I do hope we're able to. But we do take that one trip per year. We try to. But still, obviously, we're gonna know much more about haunts, in the Louisiana, Mississippi, West Texas area than anywhere else.
Yeah.
Still, we have, like you said, we've been on several big...
East Texas,
East Texas, yeah, East Texas, sorry.
Okay.
Nobody East...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, East, you're right, East Texas. Okay. Well, Texas, this is the west of us.
It is, but it's the east side of it. And it's giant.
It is giant.
I don't know when we would... we may as well go to California if we're going to the west side of Texas.
Well, there ain't much in Texas once you get, past, Austin and all that. If you're looking at it, horizontal, vertically, Pretty much, once you get past the Dallas and Houston and that area, that center part, you might as well just go to El Paso. That's literally where you got to go. But anyways, so yeah. That is the travel issue, and that explains why, even though we have a deep passion for a lot of these haunts, and really, really want to see them, we haven't made it yet.
Right.
And this bucket list, as we're calling it, or this wish list, is kind of how we're picking the towns we're going to head to. Because, like, when we did the Atlanta trip, which we'll talk about in a minute, we wanted to go see Netherworld.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, we're in Atlanta for 3 nights.
Yeah.
Let's see how many other haunts we can hit.
It was record-breaking amount of haunts.
I think if it is physically possible to OD on haunted attractions, we would have done it over the course of that trip. I'm not even kidding.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, and it was bad because, like, one of the nights, I think it was Saturday night, we got done with the last haunt planned, and we're like, hey, we still got an hour where haunts are theoretically open. You want to go get one more?
And we did.
Yeah, we did. That was how we saw Camp Blood.
Yeah.
It's just craziness. So anyways, now here are the ones we have visited from our original list. The 3 we've ticked off, or
Yes.
marked off of the list because we've seen them. First, Raven's Grin Inn.
Yes. You've heard us talk with Jim Warfield while we were there. We got him to sit down for an hour. I know Jonathan's proud.
I just don't know how we did it.
Yeah. He was very gracious with his time.
Oh, he was super gracious, super nice, and you can tell he really enjoys talking about it.
Yeah.
He's very passionate and feels very strongly about his haunt, as he should.
Yeah. And I will say, out of all of the places we've been, that is the most unique experience.
Yeah. I'm going to say, spoiler alert, that all 3 of the ones we've been to were definitely worthy of of being on that list.
Yes.
All 3 of them definitely worth it. So spoiler alert, we have nothing but good things to say about the haunts we've been to.
Yeah, because we weren't let down. It wasn't like, when a movie gets hyped up and you get there, you watch it and it's just total not what you thought it was going to be. That didn't happen.
No, Raven's Grin, we went there on a random Tuesday.
Yeah.
In the middle of summer.
No, it was a Wednesday, wasn't it?
No, he was off on Wednesdays.
Yeah, I know, but he opened for us.
No, he was open normally on Tuesday, but we were still the only people who showed up.
Oh, I know what's going on. We went to the haunt Tuesday night and interviewed Wednesday.
Exactly.
Okay.
We were there both days.
I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, no, we went through the haunt Tuesday night.
You can tell we really planned this out.
Yeah, this is such a planned episode, let me tell you. But yeah, we went there Tuesday night, had a great time, did the interview and all that stuff with him on his day off on Wednesday. So that was awesome. And Jim Warfield is a very unique human being.
Yes.
An amazing, but very unique. But no, Raven's Grin Inn, absolutely baller. Loved it. It was worth the insane drive through corn country to get there.
Yes.
We technically picked that one up on a trip to St. Louis, believe it or not. We were there with Ellie visiting her son and being in the St. Louis area. And you and we rented another car.
Yeah.
And just drove all the way to Raven's Grin Inn. And that's a huge, it was like 4.5, 5 hours something.
Yeah.
It was a long drive.
It was.
And you don't have cell signal when you get there. It's kind of wild. But yeah, so Raven's Grin Inn, absolutely 100%. Cannot say enough of good things about it. Netherworld, we ticked off. We've done. We actually saw it the last year at its previous location. It's since moved.
Right.
Netherworld is amazing. I definitely, it was definitely deserved a place on that list.
Yeah.
And the only reason it's removed is because we've done it.
Yes, exactly.
If I had not been there, I absolutely would still have it on the list because it is amazing. It is wonderful. And it is a masterclass of like finding things that work. And because you'll find when you go through Netherworld, you'll see stuff that clearly has been around for decades.
Right.
But they just know, hey, this works. We're not going to screw with it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then there's all the new stuff, too. So you can see how they've been building on finding what works and building on top of it. It's a masterclass in that style of haunting. It's great.
At least it was at the old location.
Yeah, it's true. We don't know much about the new location other than it's bigger.
And it's still a great show.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be an amazing
people
show.
Who have gone. All right.
And the last one was?
Hell's Gate. We did this on the Chicago trip.
Thank you, Japes.
For and the Lost Souls Chicago bus tour.
Yeah, if Lost Souls, when Lost Souls is able to come back, I know they're not doing it because of COVID, but when they come back, you need to do it.
Yes.
I'm going to point fingers at the imaginary person I'm talking to and say, you need to do it. That is the best way to see haunts. We had all the haunts of like the Atlanta trip with none of the hard work and
none of the stress of getting to each of them and planning out the routes and how fast do we have to get there. And we don't know these haunts because they're in a new area for us. So how does that work?
Yeah.
You know, how much foot traffic are they getting?
Yeah.
If we get VIP, can we get in fast enough to get to other haunts?
Yeah.
Because all that has to go into that.
Yeah, it
but
does.
that's all taken care of for you.
Yeah, seriously, Lost Souls is the perfect way to experience the Chicago area haunted houses. I'm not even joking.
No.
It is just beyond perfect. Mm-hmm. And the selection of haunts is obviously great too, because it was Hell's Gate was one of the haunts on the tour we went on. And yeah, I gotta say, with Hell's Gate, we not only did the haunt, which was great and amazing and all that, but we got the behind the scenes tour.
Yeah.
And that was when it went, for me at least, from being just a really good haunt to being I need to study the ever-loving crap out of this haunt.
Exactly. I mean, it was an eye-opening experience, and changed my entire thinking about how to build haunts in the future.
Yeah.
If you're starting one.
Yeah, if you can build from the ground up, Hell's Gate is literally a masterclass on designing a haunt, to be good and fun for the customer, but also to be easily managed.
Yeah.
I mean, the way they're able to slip actors in and out of scenes, the way they're able to slow down or speed up groups.
Right.
The way they're able to control this haunt with such precision with not that many people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing, and it's an absolutely breathtaking haunt. And like I said, the design, the detail, the acting, everything about it was great. But honestly, when I saw how it works behind the scenes and how they built it, it just went up a notch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't think it could, but it went up another notch.
It did. Yeah.
So yeah, those are the 3 that we've been to. And so that, you know, once again, I have nothing negative to say about any of those. Mm-hmm. They were all on the list for a reason, and none disappointed.
No.
So yeah, honestly, if you haven't been to those, they need to be on your haunt bucket list. Mm-hmm. I would definitely put them on there. Okay, so now we've got the haunts that are still on the list.
Yeah.
That we have not done and are still available for us to do.
Right, so we'll be rehashing some of
the points,
information.
But that's worth it.
Yeah.
First off is Knott's Scary Farm. Mm-hmm. One of the big gaps in our haunt going experience is we have never done any of the major haunted attraction theme parks. Right. We've never done HHN. Mm-hmm. We've never done like Scarowinds or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like every theme park seems to have one these days.
Yeah.
But we've never done one. And the one I'm most interested in doing is Knott's Scary Farm.
Yeah.
It's the origin of the sliders. Mm-hmm. And still supposedly has the best sliders in the business, or at least some of the best sliders. And yeah, we want to experience that.
Yeah, exactly.
Good Lord. Man, something in here is driving my nose crazy.
Yeah, it does that to me occasionally.
Anyway, but no, I cannot wait. But like I said, we need to get to at least one theme park, because the closest we've had to that experience was Scout Island here, which really is not the same.
No, it's not.
It's just not. It was good. Yeah. And I hope it comes back at some point.
Yeah.
They're not open this year, and they weren't open last year.
Right.
So I'm a little bit worried, but I do hope they return. But yeah, it's not quite the same though. Mm-hmm. And it's definitely mostly because it's a knockdown deal, you know, where there's not like a theme park there and they're just spookifying the theme park.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a field.
You can't go during the day and ride all the roller coasters and get those thrills and chills and then come back at night for the scares.
Yeah. So yeah, it's very, very cool. But yeah, Knott's Scary Farm for me though just represents, it's the birthplace of the slider.
Yeah.
You got to pay homage to that. I actually really do love watching sliders work. At 41 years old, my knees will not allow me to even think about attempting it.
Yeah.
That's cool, but that's a nope from me.
Yeah.
I'm just too goddamn old to start picking up that.
No, I understand completely.
but I am very impressed by it, and I love it, and I love the precision that a lot of the sliders can move with, and how they can even get, with, like, literally, like, grazing you. They're just amazing talented, and I want to see them. And it's also, as curious as I am about HHN, because I do want to see, like, actually licensed haunted attractions based on...
That would be weird, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I know. To actually walk through, like, the Beetlejuice haunted attraction and go, hey, this is licensed.
Yeah,
this is legal.
I don't have to worry about my day job interfering with my haunt life.
Yeah, exactly. This is fine. I mean, this is great. Yeah, that would be cool. I also know that from what I've been told, a lot of those mazes are small, on the small side. And they kind of have to be, because you got to remember these are knockdown jobs for the theme park.
Right.
So, I mean, they kind of have to be. But it would be very, very cool to see it. But like I said, it's not Scary Farm. It's such a big piece of haunted attraction history here. That's where I want to go.
Nope.
Nothing else than for the love of the history.
Okay, next on our old but still loved list is the Scare House. This is located in Etna, Pennsylvania, and it prides itself on not sexualizing patrons or female actors. And I'm going to throw something else in here at you.
Mm-hmm.
So the JC Fairgrounds in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, does something very similar. So I'm adding it in.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I love my women in haunting, and they have a whole section on women in haunting, promoting community, thinking about leadership roles differently, and getting rid of sexy victims altogether.
Yeah.
So.
And the Scare House obviously is just one of the biggest names.
Right, exactly.
Full stop. I mean, when you put a list together, like I said, if we had just put a list together of the biggest name haunts, like the haunts every haunter knows the name of.
Yeah.
Scare House definitely would have been on that list. So obviously it's a big name from that perspective, but they also, like you said, are doing a lot of great work in the women in haunting space and want to support that.
Yeah, exactly.
So, next item, Erebus Haunted House. Now this is in Pontiac, Michigan, right outside Detroit. Basically though, it's kind of goes back and forth. They've held the title of largest indoor haunted attraction, and now it's Cutting Edge Haunted House in Fort Worth, Texas. They've always been in the running for that. Mm-hmm. And basically, though, I don't know. Like I said, it seems to change who has that title, but they've always been in contention for it. So, A, it's absolutely giant. B, it's famous for very large sets and very large pieces, but also being very, very traditional in how it performs its scares. Mm-hmm. I've seen interviews with some of the owners and managers there, and one of the things they focus on is just being a good distract and startle. They focus on finding ways to get that response and using all of this amazing set work as a means to, be the distract, basically. But they're very, very much classical guys when it comes to their approach to scaring, which I love, because that's honestly the best way.
Yeah.
It's the classics for a reason, Yeah,
exactly.
But, yeah, they have a reputation for being huge and being excellent, and honestly, who doesn't want to go to that?
Exactly. All right.
Okay, next up on the ones...
Netherworld.
Well,
even though we said we had ticked it off, they moved on us. So...
Do you want to see what they did with the new space?
Yes, I want to see what they did with the new space. And I could see this happening on the way to something. Like, we haven't done any haunts in South Carolina, and there are some since we moved from there.
Yeah.
So I could see doing it on the way to or back from a trip there.
Yeah. Yeah, we technically have done it. We don't have to put it back on. But yeah, as you noted, they moved. They got a bigger space. They're doing a lot of new things. So yeah, definitely want to check it out.
Yeah.
All right. Now this is a big one for me.
Me too.
This is a huge one for me. The next one is Headless Horseman.
I am so sad I cannot go this year.
In Ulster Park, New York. Yeah, because it's a driving trail now, right?
Walking.
Oh, that's right.
This year it's walking. Last year it was driving. This year it's walking.
Ulster Park, New York. Basically, everybody knows what they're about.
Yeah.
Every time you see a crazy outdoor build, in the haunted attraction industry, it's them.
Usually, yeah.
Pretty much them.
Yeah.
It's pretty much them. They built that giant goddamn statue out of whatever, and they do these awesome mammoth builds. It looks so cool, and honestly, just the idea of, and like you said, this year would be perfect because it's a walking path, and I much prefer something like that being able to move at my pace.
Yeah. Instead of being on a hayride style.
Yeah.
Although I will look at it either way.
Oh, I'm going to go either way. I
Yeah.
don't really care. But I definitely, like you, I prefer, I don't care how many miles it is. I got two good feet. Well, not right now, I don't. But got 1.5 good feet.
Yeah.
But, I got feet, I'll walk. I don't care.
Yeah.
That's fine. But no, it is such a cool, impressive thing. Every image I have seen of Headless Horseman has blown me away even more.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely incredible. They have 10 separate attractions now.
It may be more than that now. I'm not sure.
I don't know. We have in the notes 10 separate attractions.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, it's just an amazing, amazing thing. And obviously we have to go at some point. It's just, that's practically a rite of passage at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Looking up how many attractions they have.
Yeah, but it's okay. Well, actually, you should take the next one, because this one...
Yeah, okay. Well, we've got... The next one is the Vault of Souls, which is... where is it in Florida? We don't know why
I
we
think
didn't
it's Orlando.
It's in Orlando, Florida, yeah. This is a very, very unusual attraction, and I like attractions that are doing, unique things. And this one is and what they're doing with the Vault of Souls is trying to create a more interactive haunted attraction experience, where you're not just like passively, it's in Tampa. No. But anyways, yeah, so the point is, though, it's a much more interactive attraction. And in some ways, it sounds like they're doing something similar to Raven's Grin Inn, where you're interacting with the people in the Vault of Souls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it is in Tampa.
It's in Tampa, but yeah. So no, it just sounds really, really cool. And it takes place in an actual bank. What?
So, I have an update.
Oh.
This one has to go on the can't do it list.
It's done? I
don't think they are doing it anymore.
That would suck. But the whole point of it was that this is a very, very interactive haunt. Orlando is a very, very, or Florida, Tampa, that area of Florida is a very crowded haunted attraction space. There's so many great haunted attractions. Plus, you have HHN and all the theme parks doing their thing too. And they found a way to really stand out by offering an experience that's unlike any other.
Right, exactly.
And so, yeah, if you're right and they are not open, it's going to make me very, very sad. But yeah, we were first introduced to, we met the owner at a HauntCon. He explained what they were doing, and it just sounded so cool. I mean, almost kind of like, it's so different, because it's like blurring like an escape room and a haunted attraction into this weird interactive,
And a choose your own adventure.
Yeah, and a choose your own adventure book.
Yeah.
And it kind of blurs
Shout out to the Scott in the Dark podcast, because he's the one that runs that. And yes, Headless Horseman has 12.
Oh, we're up to 12 now.
We're up to 12 now.
That how big is that property? I know it's old. It's a 250-year-old farm, but how big is the Headless Horseman property? No. We don't need to tear down the church. Just build a new one over there.
Yeah.
This is nuts.
I don't know.
Anyways.
All right, and finally, for our old list is the Dent Schoolhouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. This one often makes the national top list, and this is where Maximus works.
Yes.
And we got so close to going last year. Like, we worked it out with him. He had scheduled the days off that we were going to be there.
We had all but bought the plane tickets.
Exactly. And we were ready to buy them at a moment's notice as soon as we were able to, but stupid COVID.
Yeah, and unfortunately, a lot of the haunts in that area were either not opening or opening with severely limited throughput, and the trip wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone there had best of intentions, and it was going to be so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I especially wanted to see, where Maximus works. I mean, I've heard so much about Dent Schoolhouse, not just from him, but from others in that area, that I really, really want to see it. So that is still going to happen. I think that may be the next one we tick off of this list. Yeah. I think that Ohio trip may be what the next one is for us.
Yeah.
Just because, not just Dent Schoolhouse, but there are so many great haunts in that area that I want to, I want to go see them all.
All right.
All right, now we have some new additions to the list.
So, the first one's going to be Into the Dark San Francisco, or SF.
Mm-hmm.
So, Into the Dark SF. So, I heard about this first. There was a online convention that was doing a talk about inclusion in the haunt community this past summer, and I'm sorry I wasn't able to find the exact talk I went to. If I find it, I'll put it in the notes for later. But one of the attendees that asked a lot of good questions was Peaches Christ. And that is the owner of Into the Dark SF. And then we met an actor just randomly, a former actor of theirs, here in New Orleans, talking about how great it was for the LGBTQ plus community to have a space where they could go perform and work and have, the community represented in the haunt. And I so am sold on getting out there and seeing what they're about.
Yeah, and everything seems great. I'm very, very, very curious about the haunt, and and it's just, that's a little too much serendipity.
Yeah.
In a weird way, because like you said, we just randomly met someone that was an actor there.
Yeah.
Just moved here to the city.
Yeah.
Not that long ago. Acted there last season, I think he said.
I don't know how long ago it was, but yeah, basically, we went to one of our local places, Bradshaw. We've threatened to take people there from out of town if you ever come to visit us. That's one of the places we'll suggest. But they're a German beer garden, and I saw a guy that I didn't recognize, and he had all these Halloween tattoos and like theme park attraction tattoos, and I'm like, hey, I need to say hello to you and mention that I like haunted houses too. So that's how we got to know him and got to know a little bit more about this haunt.
No, really cool.
Yeah.
All right. My first one is a cheat, and I admit it's a cheat. But I mean, I have to see this at some point.
Oh, I agree completely.
It's the Hall of Shadows from Midsummer Scream. And being Pasadena, California. Yeah, it's technically a cheat, but the idea of the Hall of Shadows is that something like a dozen or 24 haunted attractions each make a room or a small section of a haunt.
Yeah. And
it stitches together to become a full walkthrough attraction. So instead of going to see one haunted house, you're seeing a whole bunch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that is so cool, and it'd be a great way to sample all of the different build styles, all of the scare styles. You get to really sample a wide variety of people and just see how varied the art of haunting can be.
Yeah. Especially in that area, yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was, every year I hear about this. It's like, I want to go. So bad. But yeah, Midsummer Scream. I'm not usually someone that really likes big conferences. I'm much more of a small to medium-sized conference guy. But I think I will brave Midsummer Scream to go in the Hall of Shadows. I will definitely brave that. So yeah, it's why go to one when you can go to a dozen?
Exactly.
To get a dozen bite-sized little haunts. And just, I can only imagine. I've seen videos from it, and it's interesting how you see the differing styles and the different approaches to it. But all with the same ultimate goal.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very cool. And like I said, I may have to brave Midsummer Scream, even though I absolutely hate large conferences. But, for this, I think I can handle it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. It sounds like a blast. So next on the new ones list is Grim Trails. They are located in Louisville, Kentucky. And they contacted us after our fairy tale episode saying, hey, we actually do this. We incorporate fairy tales, and lots of people know that I have a love for fairy tales, and especially finding out the original messed up versions of them. So I'd really like to see it, and they are part of the Ha family, Hunters Against Hate. So
Yeah,
I think it'd be really fun to... And all the people that have reached out to us seem like really cool people to know. So,
and that one's not too far from us, and not too far from areas that we are in semi-regularly.
Right, and yeah, that's attainable, you know?
Yeah, that's obtainable, even without a special trip.
Right, because there are more in that area, and we could make it one of those long weekend trips.
Yeah, exactly. That's a very easily obtainable one, and I think it would be a lot of fun to hit that area, because one thing I've noticed in all of our travels haunts is like every region has a different flavor of haunting. You know, like you kind of, and it's kind of hard to explain. It's not like I'm saying all Houston haunted houses are the same or all Chicago ones are the same. They're not.
No.
But it's a bit like how, you know, all New Orleans cuisine has certain spices and certain elements in it.
Yeah.
It's a bit like that, where you'll see a lot of the same beats and a lot of the same ideas, and the styles will be very similar. So I always like getting a good feel of a region's haunting style.
Right.
Because you can learn a lot, and that's one of the things I love about traveling to go to haunts, is you're going to get an experience completely unlike the one in your area. Just because you have a different haunt culture, different haunt style, different universe. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
All right, and my last one. Terror on the Fox in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Honestly, this one, I like haunts that are doing unique and unusual things are my favorite, my go-to. This is held in the National Railroad Museum.
That's definitely different.
And even one of their attractions even has a working train.
Yeah.
That sounds so cool.
That sounds fun, yeah.
It's got amazingly good reviews. Everyone seems to really enjoy it. And I realized when we were in Galveston and we went to the train museum there, that I kind of dig trains. They're cool, you know?
Yeah.
So they're really, really cool. And I learned about them and what they're doing. It's like, yeah, sold.
Yeah.
That's it. This is great. This is an awesome idea. I can't wait to check it out. Unfortunately, Green Bay is a big, long haul.
Yeah, we'll have to see what else is in the area and if we can make one of those.
Yeah, this is one of the less attainable ones.
Yeah.
Just because of distance, and also I don't know how much of a haunt community culture there is in Green Bay. I actually just don't know.
Yeah.
It could be like I until we started Haunt Weekly, I only had a vague idea of how big the haunt culture was in Ohio, for example. Because, you know, I knew about Dent Schoolhouse, we knew about a few other haunts there, but you start talking to people from Ohio, it's like, holy shit.
Well, yeah.
They are crazy for haunts in that state. I don't know what trauma Ohio has that it needs 8,000 more haunted houses per person, you know, but whew, I'm glad they do it. Yeah. I'm looking forward to touring as many of them as I can. Well, that is all that we have as far as the haunt bucket list. But once again, going back to the question of the week, what haunt is on your bucket list? Where would you like to go that you have not been? Please let us know. Facebook.com/HauntWeekly, Twitter.com/HauntWeekly. Let us know there. You can also send us an email, hauntweekly.com. Neat little contact form, super duper easy. Leave it as a comment on the YouTube video, youtube.com/HauntWeekly. Or, you know, just carrier pigeon, smoke signals, anything else. I mean, realistically, we accept pretty much all forms of communication.
Yeah.
So please feel free to reach out, whatever ways. I want to know what yours are, because I know there are more haunts that deserve to be on our bucket list that we just don't know about yet.
Well, and it's not that this is a complete list.
Oh, no, God.
Like, we've said that forever.
Yeah.
Like, Haunted Overload wasn't mentioned, and that's definitely on my list.
Haunted Overload definitely should be on the list, too, yeah.
Yep. So maybe we'll have to expand this list, and whenever we do it in a few years.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to when COVID time ends and we're able to travel without worry again. Because like I said, this year, we're definitely not making an out-of-state trip.
Right.
Just because of your job and the fact that we can't, you can't, go into isolation for 2 weeks.
I can't, and I can't comfortably travel because we've got extra work at the very beginning of November. So it's going to make it hard.
Yeah, so this year I don't think that type of trip is happening. We're still discussing what we're doing about the haunts locally, what we're planning on. But indeed, we will report to you either way what we find out.
Yeah.
So, once again, hauntweekly.com, Haunt Weekly on Twitter, Haunt Weekly on Facebook, youtube.com/hauntweekly, and of course, Sundays, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. We do these live, if we can, at facebook.com/hauntweekly. Until next time, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this was episode 302, revisiting our haunt wish list. We will see you all next week.